The market right now is hotter than it's ever been before, and it's a subjective question because it depends on your market and the volume that you're doing. But now with what's happening in New York on a political scale, along with after the pandemic, we have so many New Yorkers because of the affordability crisis in this city who are leaving New York, coming into New Jersey, because everything in New Jersey right now, price-wise, it's much lower than it is in New York. So if you're renting a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment in Manhattan where you're paying $5,000 or $6,000 a month, now you can head over the bridge to New Jersey and pay the same monthly payment for a huge, beautiful 5,000 square foot mansion. So we have an exodus of buyers moving from New York to New Jersey, and it's really created an upturn in the market.
But you said that the market has never been as difficult. What do you mean?
Not as difficult. It's never been as hot as it's been over the past 5 years.
Oh, as hot, I see.
Now, after the pandemic, everything changed because the rates came down to 3.5%, and it created an uproar in the market. We've had some sort of a stabilization recently with the rates going to 6 or 7%. But they're starting to come down again. Buyers are fleeing New York. They're looking for a better quality of life in many instances in New Jersey. And we list properties, and we're seeing 10, 15, 20 offers on a property still listed and marketed at the right price because of the amount of people that are leaving New York. And you have the wealthy who are frightened of the tax incentives that are being taken away. If a certain candidate who's leading wins the election, they're taking their money out of the city, they're reinvesting into Florida, into Texas, and in many cases, New Jersey. So we're hot.
You're saying that this is already happening, George?
It's already happening with the impending foresight of a certain candidate winning. People are taking their money out of New York. Now, some, not all, taking their money out of New York, reinvesting them in other states, and in many cases, other countries, because of the tax incentives that are going to be taken away or the impending fear of what may be taken away based on the elections in New York.
Incredible.
Yeah.
George, you touched on it, interest rates. Looks like Fed Chair Powell will reduce the rates again tomorrow. Is it going to have a big impact as some people think?
I don't think yet, because although when you lower the rates, prices go up because the purchase power of the buyer increases, but we're still at a point where we have so much supply and little demand until the rates reach perhaps the point that we were at before at 3.5. I don't think it'll happen with Powell, but I do think when we have a new commissioner in May of 2026, there's going to be an uproar in the market, the rates are going to come down, and it may send property values up 10 to 15%. But what happened with the rates had to happen because the economy could not handle the inflationary crisis in this country. So we stabilized the rates, we stabilized the economy, and I think we're prepping for a big 2026.
George, we had a gentleman here not too long ago. He specializes in short selling. He thinks that foreclosures are on the rise. Are you seeing this?
Very little. Very little. Normally you see foreclosures when property values come down because homeowners don't see any value of paying for a property that is no longer worth what they initially paid for it. I don't think it'll happen because I believe prices will continue to trend up, barring any unforeseen circumstance. But when the market does change, or when the market does adjust, I think you're going to start seeing more foreclosures the same way that you saw in 07 or 08, when we had the collapse of the economy. The economy won't collapse, but when prices start adjusting, perhaps we'll see more of it.
A big trend here, George, is multifamily homes and the popularity of multifamily homes. Is that something you're seeing?
Absolutely. What we see, developers in New Jersey, which is where we're from, are becoming rich because people are leaving New York in spades and they're willing to pay more in New Jersey than even New Jerseyans are willing to pay. And they're jacking up the prices. So we see a lot of developers and even municipalities investing in mixed-use, multifamily, 50, 100-unit buildings where you can have your retail centers, where you can have your gym and your amenities, be near a train station and have an easy commute to Penn Station in New York, in many cases 20, 30 minutes. So the New York economy and the New York market is really on the upturn.
We touched a little bit on the New York City mayoral race. There's also a governor's race in New Jersey. What kind of policies are you hopeful for, regardless of who wins?
I think that there needs to be an incentive. I think we need to ride the wave of what's happening in New York because we're directly correlated to the political system in New York, being that we are 15, 20 minutes in proximity. I think there needs to be more tax incentives so that developers continue coming into New Jersey, perhaps leaving New York and reinvesting the money into areas like Jersey City and Hoboken so that we can continue bringing people over the bridge and improving the economy in New Jersey. There has to be more taxes right now are through the roof. And that's what I think is going to happen with the candidate that I believe will win. It's a close race. It could go left or it could go right. But I think if the right candidate wins, I think we're going to have a great state. And in New York, frankly, I don't like any of the candidates, if I'm being honest with you. But it looks like there's a clear front runner. I think he'll win. And if you have a Republican in New Jersey and a Democratic candidate in New York, you may see a lot of migration to our state.
You see a big opportunity for New Jersey in that scenario?
Absolutely. New Jersey and even the outer boroughs of New York or places like Florida and Texas. People from New York are willing to pay more than anyone else because of the affordability crisis and the prices here in this city. So I see it as a huge opportunity.
George, finally, we talked a little bit about trends. How about opportunities? Okay, let's look 5, 10 years for our viewers who are watching. Where do you see the opportunities in real estate over the next 5 to 10 years?
I believe that you need to position yourself in a position to win. I've always been of the mind of being an investor. I'm an investor myself. Not just in buying multifamily properties, sitting and holding them, but on reinvesting in new constructions and flipping properties. I think that's a big market. As I said, I think prices will continue to go up. And on the realtor side, because we're at a real estate convention, you need to position your brand in a way that you take advantage of the movement that's happening right now between New Jersey and New York. If you're a realtor in New York, you should think about getting your license in New Jersey and vice versa, because of the amount of movement that's happening.
George Castro, appreciate it, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you.